Gothenburg, where England last won the World Individual Speedway title through Michael Lee 4 years ago. But this year Gothenburg is the setting for what's been described as the final of the missing men. Lee isn't here. He's serving a 12-month suspension. The anti-post favourites, Dennis Sigalos of America, and England's #1, Kenny Carter, also miss out through injury. Now, their absence means it's the most open final since the war, and a unique opportunity for a rider lower down the world rankings to plunder Speedway's greatest prize, just as West Germany's Egon Müller did 12 months ago on his home territory. So we could well be looking for men like England's lone qualifier, Simon Wigg, the consistent Australian Billy Sanders, holder of the track record here. There's a real home track specialist in Sweden's Jan Andersson. And what about the three flamboyant Americans, the Moran brothers, Kelly and Sean, and Lance King? Or maybe the flying Danes, Hans Nielsen or Eric Gundersen? Speedway badly needs a charismatic champion because the sport has lost in recent years box office giants like Ollie Olsen, the Danish triple champion. 6 times winner Ivan Major of New Zealand, now in partial retirement, but both here in Gothenburg among a parade of legendary ex-champions. And perhaps the most glamorous champion of them all, Bruce Pennell of America, now an established Hollywood star, who now joins our commentary team here in Sweden. Coming in then for a critical Heat 1 with 4 riders, all of whom have their eyes firmly on this title. 3 of the favourites on the inside, Billy Sanders, red from Australia, track record holder here at Gothenburg. Next to him, Bo Peterson in blue in his first world final. Grid 3, Hans Nielsen, who's never yet really got a grip of a world final from Denmark. He's in white. And on the outside, the home track specialist, Jan Andersson. A big chance for him here on home shell in Gothenburg. Heat #1 could answer a whole lot of questions. Here we go. And Peterson nudges the tapes. He's allowed to get away with it once. The referee, Gunter Sorber, has told him he won't tolerate a lot of it, though. And Peterson, this time they're away. And it is Nielsen who leads it. Nielsen is the corner first. Sanders has been left. Nielsen leads it. In second place, it's Peterson. Andersson has overcooked the second corner and is back in last place. And that's a joy disappointment. Andersson coming through now into third place. The Swedes are enjoying that. But it's Hans Nielsen in front. Peterson second. Third place now, Billy Sanders.
Boy, I'll tell you, Hans looks very, very smooth and so fast. He's already picked up like 4 bike lengths ahead of Bo Peterson. What a fantastic start he made, though, Dave.
And it's interesting here that Jan Andersson, who we all thought might be the real threat on home territory, is at the back. And Bruce, we look back over the record of, 38 world finals. And I think I'm right in saying that nobody who's had a last place has ever recovered to win.
I don't think so. You know, this is Jan's home track, and I expected him to be up there a little closer, but I think he might have got filled in with a little of that shale early on in the heats, and it's very, very slick out there, Dave. There's not going to be much passing today, that's for darn sure.
And Nielsen is absolutely taking him apart here in Heat 1. He's, 30, 40 lengths clear of Bo Peterson. The Danes will rise to him. Nielsen goes over the line, 3 points for him. What a start. Second place, Peterson. Third is Sanders, and Andersson is at the back.
It's a nice heat for Hans to get over with, I'll tell you. You know, like I said, once you get that first heat over with, boy, the rest of it comes, well, not real easy, but a little easier.
Heat #2 then, Gundersen on the inside. Next to him, Shearer. Grid 3 has Moran on the outside. It is Müller. The start, so critical. And it is Moran who's impatient. And they're break this time, and up to the corner. It looks like Shearer's got away. Shearer leads it. In second place, it is Gundersen. Müller coming hard around the outside, and Sean Moran has been left. And, well, here is a surprise. It is Mitch Shearer in front, going hard after him, Eric Gundersen.
Mitch made a great start, but you can see that Eric's got a lot of motor on. He just doesn't know where to pass him at the time, but Eric's bikes look very, very fast right now. Sean is trying to pick up the rear. It just doesn't look like he's getting any grip whatsoever, Dave.
So we've had already 1 or 2 surprises, and Shearer is riding an immaculate line, and Gundersen is right on his back wheel.
Boy, Egon Müller holding a steady third place. There's nothing Sean can do. The track is so slick, it's just going to be a Gators track tonight, I'm afraid.
And Moran making his effort at the back. This is the leading 2 we can see in picture, and Moran has gone around the outside of Müller. And Müller shakes his head and looks as though he's already relinquished his title. It's unlike him. Shearer still stretching away up front. There's the battle. And Gundersen must make his last effort around these last 2 corners. But Shearer is not to be set back or deterred. He wins it. Second place, Gundersen. Third is Sean Moran. And last is Müller. Simon Wigg then, England's last hope in the 1984 World Championship in his first World Final. A tall order for to expect him to win it. There in white is Kai Niemi. This is his third appearance. On the outside, Karl Mayer from West Germany, one of the real no-hopers, in all honesty and fairness. It would be a major surprise if this boy did very much, although he's an accomplished long-track performer. Heat 3, Kelly Moran on the inside. Next to him, Simon Wigg. Grid 3 has Kai Niemi on the outside. It is Karl Mayer. And again, there's impatience, and Niemi is the boy who's doing the dodging and ducking. And Simon Wigg's got a flyer. Oh, what a start from Wiggy. Wiggy's away. Second place, it is Kelly Moran. Third place, coming hard around. It is just hanging on there, Kai Niemi. But Simon Wigg has made a dream start in his first World Final. He is away, and Kelly Moran is right after him.
Boy, Simon looks so hungry tonight. It's great. You know, you can tell that he's not feeling any of the effects of pressure whatsoever.
He's got to watch for doing that, though, Bruce. He does leave himself vulnerable, particularly entering the corners. He leaves a hole. We saw that in the World Team Cup final in Poland, and he's just got to pick his line better going into the corners.
Turn 1 and 2, he seems to drift up a little bit. That's where Kelly caught a little ground on him last lap, but it looks like he's covered himself, and he's away. He's got about 3 or 4 bike legs on Kelly, which is fine.
Well, it's 400 metres around this Ullevi Stadium track, and Wigg has got time to look back. And then Moran, who has been erratic, but who will want to help his fellow countryman Lance King, who could still take this title, and Sean will be flat out to try and get out of the gate and lead Nielsen. Nielsen on the inside. There is Jerry Stansel, and there is Sean Moran. And Moran is not in the happiest of grids, but he will be most anxious to give his fellow countryman Lance King a real shout at this title. We've had 4 different world champions from 4 different nations in Gothenburg finals. We've never had an American, and Moran will want to do something about that. Watch for Nielsen on the inside, and Sean Moran on the outside, and away they go. And up to the corner, it is Nielsen and Mayer, and Moran will swing across on the inside, and Moran's ridden a beautiful first corner. Down the inside he has gone. Nielsen goes round him, though, and gets his wheels back in line the quickest. But a tremendous piece of strategic riding. But Nielsen is now in front, and he is kicking on.
Very wise move by Sean in the first corner, but Hans seemed to get his wheels in line a little quicker, and plus I think he was pushed out in the dirt a little bit more, so he got the drive all the way down that back straightaway. He's really going now. And
that is a very fast motor he has. It is, of course, a British-built Godden, built by former grass track ace Don Godden down there in West Malling. And it does look as though it has got everything going for it. Moran now under a bit of pressure from Karl Mayer. So Hans Nielsen, the kid from the village of Brost, knows that whatever happens now, he is assured of a place on the rostrum, and he still might win this title. 1 more lap to go. Now he'll be praying and keeping his fingers crossed that Godden motor doesn't miss a beat. Bruce, this is an anxious moment for him.
Yeah, it sure is. Everything's rattling. The chains are rattling, everything. And you can see they're starting to move out in the dirt a little bit more. The track has changed again.
And Nielsen takes heat 19. Second place, Moran. Third place was Mayer. And that means Hans Nielsen, in his 5th World Final, he's still only 24, is assured of a place in the first 3 and might still yet be in with a real shout for the title. It's all down to the last race, Heat 20, and I cannot recall a World Final going on this long and this late in the event before we knew the eventual winner. It really is a scripted World Final. It's going to be a nail-biter. Who will make the jump? King in 2, remember? The youngest finalist at 21. He could become one of the youngest men ever to win the world crown. The inside of him, Erik Gundersen, he's only 24. And you could put your hand out here in this beautiful Scandinavian sunset and really touch the atmosphere. It is red hot here as we come into Heat 20. Let's spell it out again. On the inside, Gundersen, red, needs to win to be the new champion. In blue, Lance King, a win here will make him the champion. Grid 3, Simon Wigg needs a win for a place in the rostrum in his first World Final. On the outside, Jan Andersen on his home track. The start, so crucially important. Who will jump? It is Gundersen. Gundersen is away. King is second. Wigg is third. Erik Gundersen and King almost lost it on the second turn there, but Erik Gundersen is out in front and going for his life.
It's a little early yet, Dave, but I think we might have a new world champion here, Erik Gundersen. He looks very, very comfortable. If his motor stays in one piece, no flat tires, chains stay on, I think we might have Erik Gundersen as a world champion.
Well, it's looking more that way. Erik Gundersen, 24-year-old from Ebbsburg, rides with Cradley Heath, talks English with a lovely black country accent, looking back over his shoulder. He's got 2 laps to go to glory and the world crown, which should be worth to him, what, $250,000 over the next 6 months, and Gunderson is stretching them. And in 3rd place it is Anderson. Simon Wigg has been dropped off, so a disappointing end to his first world final. Now just 1 lap to go, and we'll let the Danish crowd carry Eric Gunderson through to glory.
Well, you don't know what it feels like right now, Dave. He is so tight, but I'll tell you what, he can almost feel it. He's almost there.
And the celebrations will start. I know Ollie Olsen will be quick out. And Gunderson fists the air. He is the champion. 2nd place King. We're going to have a run-off with him and Nielsen for 2nd place overall. Anderson is 3rd, but it is Eric Gunderson's night. A vast posse of photographers come galloping out. His Danish teammates will grab him. I have no doubts at all about that. What a moment for Eric Gunderson. What a moment for Denmark. They've won the Team Cup. He's going up in the air, and he's absolutely overjoyed.
You know, I'd like to say something also. This is the 2nd year in a row that the Italian motor, GM, Seppi Marzotto, has won the World Championship.
Well, the Danes will celebrate. I'm quite sure the old lager will flow tonight in Gothenburg, and somewhere down there, I'm sure, we've got Gary Newbold.
Eric, let's get your first reactions to being world champion.
And that's a great feeling. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Eric, what about that last heat that made you world champion?
Well, you know, it's I was so nervous for it, you know, and I tried to get psyched up by Ollie for it, you know, and I did that. I sat outside the stadium like Ollie did in '71, and just it did me perfect, Gary. You know, I can't believe it. Can't believe it, Gary.
What about it, Ollie?
It's the greatest thing ever. He deserves it. He deserves it, mate. Brilliant, brilliant.
Yes, a night of celebration for the Danes in Gothenburg. Craig Leahy's Eric Gunderson, the champion, and his compatriot Hans Nielsen, who rides for Oxford, finished runner-up after beating America's Lance King in the 2nd place runoff.